Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's good, man. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, just looking at a few people's lives this morning to kind of like, I don't know. Some people were talking about like jobs and going back to school and things of that nature. Um, in my opinion, according to the Matrix, right? You go to school to be educated, and from that educational experience, you pursue a job, right? From that job, you then you're now you're gaining what is known as say professional work experience, right? Regardless of industry, regardless of what educational background you chose to go to school for, or whatever it is that you pursued for an interest, right? What do you do then, or what do you do when that industry or that field of occupation suddenly collapses, or they don't your company that you were working for, say it was once a successful company, now it's no longer making money. The company decided to let people go. Like, what do you do? What do you do? And you have an educational background in a specific thing, and you have work experience in a specific area. What do you do? Right? Let's just say that whole industry just went under. Do you go back to school and then find another another well, I'm trying to think. Do you go to school and seek another educational background, so then you can then go back into the job seeking market to find a new I don't know, find a new job in the new industry based on education you've now pursued. It is hard, but at the same time, chosen ones, don't set yourself up for failure. Even if it's not the job that you desire, or the job that you went to school for, you still do what you gotta do to make ends meet. Make sure you got a roof over your head. You can provide for yourself, provide for your families if need be. All right. To take care of yourself, take care of your everyday needs, right? So you can buy things to take care of yourself, right? Stuff that's important to you, right? For you to function as a human being, all right? As an everyday person. Um, what was I at? Was I in Texas? Yeah. So my first duty station was right here in Fort Hood, Texas. All right, Fort Hood, Texas. I was part of First Cav. We used to call it First Team. All right. We had one of the biggest patches in the army, the one with the horse. First Cav, baby. All right. Right here in Fort Hood, Texas. I think I was here for about 5 years, probably five and a half years. From that duty station, I did 2 tours in Iraq during the conflict in Iraq. I did 2 tours with them. I then went to Georgia, and then I did a tour with Third ID. All right. But right here in Texas, man, my first duty station, my first time in the Army, fresh out of boot camp, fresh out of AIT. All right. AIT is, after you go to boot camp, you go to AIT. AIT is your is your advanced individual training, where you get trained on your job. Right? You're trained on what your educational background is going to be going into your work experience. Right? I was a fueler. They used to call him 77 Fox. Now I think it's 92 Fox. A petroleum supply specialist. All right? And that is a vast, it's a vast area of experience. They have different things you can do within the industry. All right? But you already know how the job market thing goes already. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's sometimes it's your connections. All right. When I was in the military, we were working with Himmets, and we were distributing JP8. All right. And then my first unit that I was with was an armored unit. So it was tanks, Abrams. All right. So yeah, we went to the field a lot. That was it wasn't fun at first, but we went to the field a lot, boy. We'd be training for weeks, sometimes months. All right. But I became experienced at my job. I became good at my job. I knew what I was doing. I knew how to shout out to my NCOs, because a lot of my NCOs, they taught me a lot of stuff. But we were working with what is known as 88 mics. Those are your truck drivers, your transport guys. They haul cargo and stuff like that, ammunition, whatever it was. They were your transport people. So in my unit, it was my platoon. It was mics and foxes. All right, and we worked together. So we were logisticians. So we would support the combat units that way. We would provide. We had cooks too. So we had the cooks. Even though the cooks were mostly working out of the DFAC, out of the what you call a cafeteria, or whatever. But they were attached to our platoon as well. So whenever we would do our training, our field training, where we'd be out there for weeks, sometimes months, right? We'd be the ones that would go out with them, and then we would go back to the rear. I'm not trying to be funny, but we go back to. Sometimes, like we say, like the military guy, we say we're going back to the world. So we're leaving the isolated area, and we're going back to civilization, going back to the we're going back to take care of certain things to bring back to support the unit. So for us, the fuelers, we'd go back to go get more fuel if we needed more fuel. So we go to the tank farm, right? The cooks, they would go back to go get more food supplies, right? Water, if need be, right? The logisticians would go back and they would haul the residue from the ammo that was used, and then they would go pick up more ammo, all right? And then we'd all go back, and we'd resupply all the things that we need to do. Then we would gather back together as a unit, and they would move back out to support the combat assets. All right. I got pretty good at my job. All right. But in the midst of that, I did other jobs too. All right, so I was working with the mics. Sometimes you'd have to work with the cooks. All right. Sometimes you'd have to work with the combat guys, the infantry guys, the scouts. We had scouts, all of that. All right. Sometimes you'd have to work with them. So we would train with them too. So I got training from some of the infantry guys, the scouts guys. You know what I'm saying? The high speed guys that knew stuff. So that way you were kind of well rounded. All right. So you knew everything. All right. It's important, man. It's important. It's important to be well rounded. But during my first time here at Fort Hood, first time getting money, first time, well, not getting money, but first time getting big money, like a salary and all that. Cause before that I was working, different places, summer jobs, summer camps. Then I was working at Macy's. I was working at Macy's for a long time before I joined the military. I was working at Macy's. I started off working the fragrance department, perfumes and cologne. I was working there for so long that it kind of like made me not like perfumes and cologne so much. That's just my thing, though. After you've been working in that industry for a while, man, if you know, man. Then I went on to work. Then I went on to work shoes. Then I started to work the shoe department. I was working in the men's shoes department, and that was fun. That was cool. But it's good to be well rounded, just to know different things, just in case you got to change jobs, change careers, and things of that nature. So first time getting any real a good salary. I'm in the pursuit of getting a car. All right. In the midst of me getting a car, I'm talking to the guy selling me the car. And then at first I realized that some of these car dealership people are not genuine. Some of them are very, very corrupt. They'll do anything to try and sell you a dream to get you into that car. All right? They'll lie to you, deceive you, sell you a car that's not even it's not even worth the money. All right? You be paying like 2 times what the car is probably worth. Some car dealerships are just like corrupt, man. Let's be real. You feel like you're dealing with a snake. It's just a corrupt situation. They'll do anything to try and sell you that car. Anything to try and sell you that car. Oh, I know that light. That's the sunlight right there. Do anything to sell you that car. I'm trying to open my drink. All right. They'll act like that car is a house. I end up returning the car because I didn't after I did the math. I went home and I did the math. I realized that the car wasn't worth the price based on the mileage and the year of the car and all that stuff. It wasn't worth it. All right, because car dealerships, I'm not gonna lie, at some of these outside of these military bases when I was coming up, they would do anything. They would sell you these cars at these high interest rates. And our NCOs, they would warn us. They would like, don't go rushing out to buy a car. I know you're young. You just coming into some money. Don't rush out and buy no car because these dealerships they're grimy. They'll charge you like 15%, 16%. I remember this one guy. He was paying 18% on a car. Some of these dealerships, they have, like I said, that's what I said, chosen ones. We know that moolah dinero is just a means to an end. You're not gonna sell your soul over it, man. You're not gonna compromise your integrity for it, man. Right? But these entities, NPCs, these people that give you job advice and money advice, they're part of the system. They're part of the matrix. All right. They cannot go. All right. Do what you got to do to survive. Do what you got to do to maintain. Make plans accordingly. If you say you're living with people that you don't like, make plans to move out. Find another place. All right. You're not fond of your job. Look for a better job. Look for a job that's more suitable work environment for you. All right. Don't quit right away. Just go seeking for another job, and you find it, man. You can find peace, but prepare to ascend at the same time. Do not get caught up into this matrix. Do not let these NPCs try and hold you down here with them. All right? I'm not going to get preachy. All right? I got to get to the point. I'm going to get to the overall point. Because this girl I was talking about, this lady, she was talking about education, about going back to school and all that. And it makes sense. But the industries, we're seeing that internationally and domestically, a lot of companies are closing down shop, and they're taking their money and they're running. They're leaving. Right? Big corporations, right? Right? Like, to me, I was in the store yesterday and this lady asked me if I wanted to round up. I think it was in the grocery store. I said no. I told her the truth. It was Macy's. I was in Macy's. I bought a couple shirts and the sweatpants. I'll show you the shirt that I bought. I liked it. I thought it was cool. This is the back of the t-shirt. This is the back of the t-shirt right here. Can y'all see it? This is the front of the t-shirt right here. I just thought it was cool. I just liked it. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. Listen, and I bought this shirt right here. Feels good. It's good material. Feels good. Oh, soft. And I bought some, see my Macy's bag. And I bought some sweatpants. See? Some sweatpants. So, after bringing the car back, I don't want to waste my time. I want to get to the point. Brought the car back. Explained to the guy the situation. Melanated brother. His manager was of a different race. I don't want to get into it because it's not necessary, and I don't want to take away from the essence of the what I'm trying to say. But pressure was being applied to him for him to try to convince me to try and keep the car at the rate that I was going to be paying, when the percentage was way too high. And at the end of the day, it was wrong. Integrity, as far as the integrity of that manager, I could tell that he was a low vibrating person, and his only interest was about money. Right? Not about the welfare of a young soldier just getting into the military, just trying to take care of himself financially. He don't want to give. I don't want to work my hard days just to put money in your pocket, extra money in your pocket, sir. You own a car dealership. You sell enough cars to make enough money to feel good about yourself, to provide for your family. Right? But greed is greed. God knows our hearts. Talking to that young man, I said, hey, I'm not keeping this car, man. There's nothing you can do and say to convince me. In the midst of talking to him, I realized, I said, I was just curious. I said, what did you go to school for? You're selling cars now. I don't. There's not a school for selling cars. Please tell me if there is an institution to sell cars. What's the name of that university? He said he went to school for biology. I looked at him, I said, sir, you should be in a laboratory somewhere. Probably working on something to help humankind, help people. You shouldn't be selling cars, but he said I had to do this because I just got my degree and I got to pay back my student loans and da-da-da-da. He just needed a job and the salary was good. And then he makes commission based on cars that he sells and all that. Point being, he didn't go to school to sell cars. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. To my chosen ones, prepare to ascend. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but don't let it compromise your integrity or your morals. All right? I know this is a matrix. I know the game. Connections are connections. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Right? But if you're in a situation that doesn't feel right to you, make plans, get out of it. Don't stay there. Don't let nobody try and pull you down, let you vibrate low. Let you compromise your morals, compromise your integrity. Next thing you know, they got you. They like, oh, you're an NPC now too. Do not become an NPC. Stay a chosen ones. Stay chosen. See? You can look me in my eyes and see it. Stay chosen. Don't let these NPCs fool you. This third dimensional brain can be easily manipulated. All right? They say the reptilian brain and whatever brain and mammalian and the mammals and the reptiles and two sides of the whatever. All right? Do not let this matrix fool you. Spiritually, you are to ascend. You are not to stay here with the NPCs. See? All right. I love you, my chosen ones. All right? I love you. Don't let these NPCs get you down. Ashe.